Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So as I told in my previous video that now is the turn for Christopher Marlowe. So I'm going to start the Christopher Marlowe series with Dr. Faustus. And Dr. Faustus is Marlowe's the most famous play and very interesting play. So let's get started with the introduction part. So, the tragical history of the life and death of Dr. Faustus, commonly referred to simply as Dr. Faustus, is an Elizabethan tragedy by Christopher Marlowe, based on German stories about the title character Faust. It was probably written in 1592 or 1593, shortly before Marlowe's death. Two different versions of play were published in the Jacobean era several years later. Now let's come to this story. This is the story of a scholar who lives in Wittenberg, Germany. He was already doctorate in medicine, law, logic, theology. But he was dissatisfied with his studies, so he decided to turn to the dangerous practice of necromancy. He wanted to gain more knowledge, and now he decided to know about necromancy or magic. This is called necromancy, called black magic. So Faustus said to his servant Wagner to bring someone who is expert in magic. I mean black magic. Then Wagner called two German magic experts, Faustus and Cornelius, who taught him black magic. Guys, basically this play is about good and evil things and self-instinct. So meanwhile, when Faustus and Cornelius were teaching Faustus magic, then good and angel and bad angel appeared in front of Faustus. Good angels teaching him not to do so, be satisfied with whatever knowledge he was having. Means Faustus, whatever knowledge Faustus was having, good angels were teaching them that be satisfied. But bad angels provoked Faustus to learn black magic. Then Faustus and Cornelius gave Faustus a black magic book, and Faustus was very much excited to study that book. Then Faustus firstly calls a devil, Mephistopheles, and said, "You follow my advice?" But Mephistopheles replied, "I am not your servant. I am the servant of Lucifer. Lucifer is my master." Then Dr. Faustus said, "I have an offer for your master. I will give him my soul, and in return he has to give me immense power and knowledge for 24 years. And you will be my servant." Mephistopheles then returns to Lucifer, and then Wagner, his servant, brought different black magic experts to Faustus. Then after learning so many magic tricks and something, etc., once he realized maybe this is bad. Maybe he is doing bad thing. He should ask forgiveness from God. This is bad. Then again good and bad angels appeared in front of him, but he again decided to give his soul to the devil. Then Mephistopheles again appeared with the agreement given by Lucifer and said to Faustus that if you want unlimited power and knowledge from Lucifer, then you have to sign this agreement with your blood. But when Faustus cut his nerve to get the blood, his blood freezed, which seemed that it is the sign that is stopping Faustus to do so. Means to sign on that agreement. This is bad. Something is suggesting him to not do so. Then Mephistopheles brought some hot coal to liquefy his blood. Then after this agreement, Faustus asked for a wife to Mephistopheles. "Bring me a wife." But Mephistopheles denies to give him a wife because getting married is a holy ceremony and he cannot do this. He is a devil, so he cannot involve in holy things. Then again Faustus was doubtful that whatever he is doing, whether this is good or not. Then again good and bad angels appeared in front of him, but again he thought that he should not change his mind. He decided to give his soul to the devil. And Mephistopheles instead of giving him wife, he gave him books of astronomy and books based on movement of planets. Then Faustus again asked that who created the world. Faustus asked question to Mephistopheles that who created the world, and again Mephistopheles refused to answer this question because he was the follower of devil Lucifer, and he didn't want to take God's name by his mouth. And again Faustus' instinct said him that he's taking bad decision. And this time also Faustus decided to ask forgiveness from God, but suddenly Lucifer also appeared in front of him. And Lucifer said that you signed an agreement with me. Now you no need to take God's name and all. Then Faustus assured Lucifer that he won't take God's name again. Then for entertaining Faustus, Lucifer gave some more books, and Mephistopheles took Faustus to show the world and its mystery on a chariot. When he came back to Germany, he found himself very much flourished for his magic. An emperor of Germany, Charles V, invites him in his court to show some of his skills. But meanwhile, a knight didn't like his show and said, Faustus, doing all this with the help of black magic. You are doing all this with black magic. So Faustus gave 2 horns on his head with anger. And he did more such stupid things to other people also. And he also showed so much entertaining things to the people. And he also entertains dukes and duchess and other people. But soon the time of his agreement to Lucifer is now near to an end. And Faustus was scared. He was knowing that his soul would be taken away by devil. Then 2 of his scholar friends suggested him to ask for Helen of Troy, who is the most beautiful woman on earth. But Mephistopheles refused to bring the real Helen of Troy. Instead, he converted a bad spirit into Helen. This time also he realized that he did blunder in his life, and an old man came and said to him that still is the time for you. Go and bow down to God and ask forgiveness from God, and God will forgive you. He decides to go to God and ask for repentance. There he was said that only with 1 drop of Jesus' blood you will be forgiven. But there also Faustus bargains. And last 1 hour of his death, he felt so guilty for what he did, for the blunder he did in his life, and prayed that whatever the black magic books he had should be destroyed. Because no one should suffer with such things which he suffered in his life, and no one should do such blunder in their life. With this, his soul now be threatened by devils. And the play ends here and gave so many messages to the reader. It was very interesting, and when you will read the text with dialects, then you are going to enjoy it a lot. So I will suggest you always, as I do, to go to the text. Okay, then I'll meet you with new most interesting and famous plays by Christopher Marlowe itself. Stay tuned. Goodbye. Take care. Keep loving literature.